Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana. And we're here today with special guest, Jenny Garufi, who's here to share with us her new book, The 3-Minute Shower Reset, 21 Days to Inner Peace. So can something as simple as your daily shower become a powerful tool for peace and transformation in your life? Well, today's guest is here to share with us just that. Jenny Garufi is an international best-selling author, intuitive healer, and mind-body-spirit mentor. She healed herself from chronic illness in just 3 weeks and has spent the last 20 years helping others transform their lives. She's the author of Soul Alchemy and A Short Path to Change, offering practical tools for self-love, mindfulness, and empowerment. So welcome to the show, Jenny Garufi.
Thanks so much, Marianne. I'm so grateful to be here.
Oh my goodness. Well, what an honor it is to have you here. I always love the time we get to spend together. And I've got to tell you, once I picked up this book, I could not put it down. It is such an impactful read. I mean,
Thank you.
oh my gosh, yes, I just love it. So, what inspired you to write this book?
There were definitely a few things that inspired me to write it. I have always loved water. My backstory is healing myself of 7 years of chronic disease in 3 weeks. Part of that was really tapping in the shower and using that time where my body was in such pain, so it would bring such relief for me. And then after healing, I've been teaching for 20 years. I always recommended the three most powerful times to tap in to your self-talk and intuition is the morning, night, and in the shower. So it's kind of always been in the background. And then after my mom passed, she was my best friend and I really missed her. And the shower became almost like this other time of just like I could cry my eyes out. I could be very present and really just stop for a second and really invite in that healing element of water. I started studying shamanism after she passed as a way of I took a class how to transmute the feelings of grief through shamanism, and water and the elements are such a key part of shamanism. So it really introduced it in even a more in a deeper way for me. So water has always been restorative. I love easy exercises and it just seemed to be such a perfect fit. I did get this inspiration in the shower and I thought my mom might have a little bit to do with it. I know that little bits of time can really help you transform your day, and this just felt like a perfect fit and just started coming through me when I started writing it.
And so I'd like to dive into that a little bit because we've been friends for a while and I know your journey, and it's a really empowering journey i- that you've been on. So, what inspired you to transform your personal healing journey into this book?
Yeah, just those moments of consciousness are so important, really paying attention to how we're speaking to ourselves. Like everyone has 3 minutes in the shower. Like I think, even busy moms usually get a few minutes in the shower. And I know that I am someone that is recovering perfectionist, recovering people pleaser. I tend to think about a zillion things at a time. And when I was sick, I was focused on the pain. Pain is attention getting. And when I started to take those few moments to really focus on the things I was grateful for, whether that be my comfy bed that I could lay in, or the fact that I could read to my kids, even though I couldn't run after them the way I'd wanted, things just started to shift very quickly. I mean, 3 weeks I had healed myself physically when I was told I'd be in a wheelchair and there was no way I could heal myself. So I really became conscious of those little moments. And after working with clients 20 years and seeing their journeys as well, I saw how these moments of just reflection and of peace that you're inviting in can really reset your nervous system and allow in better energy, more flow into your life. So it really became almost like integral for me to incorporate my own experiences and my clients' experiences in how these little moments of time can truly change your life.
Can you share a defining moment when the 3-minute shower reset practice truly changed something in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I there's 2 points there. There's the shower in itself has always been a place of rejuvenation for me. When I turn my attention, it used to be not. It used to not be at all. It was a place of like, what do I have to do today? And I don't believe like, that person did that. And it used to be such a jumbled sense of time for me. Did I wash my hair? I don't even remember. There's so many things going on in my head. So when I started to make that time for myself, I really started to feel, because I take showers in the morning too, it was a very positive way to start my day. And then when I began writing the book, these exercises really just came so quickly to me, things that have helped me in my own life, things that have helped my clients. And, it's always a good reminder to kind of teach these things, because then I go back to it. And when I'm in the shower, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll use that exercise today. So it was a really good, positive thing for me to get down for myself, some of the exercises that I use. And the more I was becoming aware of them, the more would come in the shower. I'd think of a new exercise. So it really helped me even deepen my own practice. And as I shared it with some of my clients, I just saw them go to this deeper level of healing and awareness. And while it begins in the shower, it continues out of the shower. The shower is really that starting point to get you used to knowing that 3 minutes can transform your day.
So, I know we've talked about your journey before about healing and overcoming years of chronic pain. How did that experience shape your relationship with mindfulness and self compassion?
It totally, it totally transformed it. When you're in pain, unfortunately, most times when you're in pain or diagnosed with a chronic illness, you are not extra kind to yourself. You're sad about the things you can't do. You insult yourself about the way you can't show up for people, or the ways you feel like you're failing yourself or your loved ones. Pain is attention getting. I was in chronic pain for 7 years, mostly in my legs. And when your leg hurts, or when a part of your body hurts, it's really challenging to not put your focus there. But energy expands when you put your focus on it. So by putting my focus on my legs and saying, ow, my legs, I don't know if I'm going to be able to walk down the stairs today. Can I drive my kids to school? I was really perpetuating that pain. I wasn't allowing that pain space to transform. Whereas when I started to change my inner dialogue and start focusing on my hands, your hands usually didn't hurt, my fingers, I'm so grateful there are healthy cells in my body. When I started focusing on the love I did have for my legs for the last, however many decades, really focusing on, I'm so grateful my legs have allowed me to walk for so long, to dance countless hours, to do all these have all these wonderful experiences. It switches your energy up and it allows in for healing. So it began with my physical healing. I think it had to for me, because when I was, in bed, I really felt like I couldn't do anything else. It wasn't motivated to figure out how I could do a career, because I was in bed in pain most of the time. So healing physically was the first step. I did not know that I could heal physically by changing my mind. I just knew that I hadn't tried that before, and I had graduated with a BA in psychology. I but when you're sick and when you're getting these diagnoses, it's really hard to not default to the doctors, default to what you're being told, what the experts are telling you. So it was really kind of a taking my power back and watching how I spoke to myself, which was so awful. It was so, so awful. I was always insulting myself about how much pain I was in and how I couldn't show up for myself and the kids, and what a bad mom I was. And I know so many people do this from experiencing with clients that have chronic pain. So it really does begin with like that. those couple of minutes of listening to yourself, and the shower allows for that because that's usually a time where we do have that peace and usually no phones in the shower so we can actually get away from all the noise and tune inwards.
So, what role did gratitude play in your healing process?
Gratitude was truly the most important part of my healing process. We have about 60,000 thoughts a day, about 80% are negative, and about 95% are the same exact ones as yesterday. That really doesn't give us much of a chance for our energy to switch up. Gratitude was key in focusing on, because it's love and like excitement and joy. It's really allowing in for something else. So when I started to be grateful for my comfy bed, for the little parts of me that weren't in pain, for the fact that I could lay in bed, that at the time, my husband was supporting me and my mom would come over and help with the kids. Like, it really switches everything. I think gratitude is the most important and key ingredient to switching up our life because, Marianne, I mean, I don't watch the news anymore, but if you tune into the news, it's always the most horrific stories first. We're really programmed from an early age to just look at the bad and focus on the negative. And that really doesn't allow in for any healing energy. One of the most important things I learned from the Secret movie was, our body's always recreating itself. We're 99.9% new in 11 months. So where we focus our attention and energy, like that helps create those cells. So when I was repeating to myself, I am sick, I'm in pain, I really wasn't allowing in for that healing. But when I switched it to, I'm so grateful I can lay here. I'm so grateful I have the ability to read. I loved reading. I'm so grateful I have the ability to listen to these videos with inspiring words in them. Everything just started switching up. And I've noticed that with my clients too, when you start switching to gratitude, it's like the magic sauce of life.
Gratitude's such a big difference in our journey. And I think a lot of times people just forget to tap into that piece.
Yeah, we are kind of programmed to focus on the negative, and there are so many distractions now, especially with oh, look over here, this horrible thing is happening. Oh, look over here, this horrible thing is happening. And as empathic beings, like it can be really challenging to tap into what we're grateful for. And sometimes people even feel guilty for saying that they're really happy. When you ask someone in the street, like, or run into someone, how are you doing? A lot of people will be like, oh, well, this is happening and this hurts. And some people can feel even guilty being like, you know what? I am fantastic. Life is great. You know what? This great thing happened and this great thing happened. Because when we see other people struggling, it can be hard to like claim that, life's pretty good. But by doing that, we really have that ripple effect, a smile, a thank you. Those things really carry energy and can really change someone else's day.
So, how did your background as this, because I know you're such a profound mindfulness teacher and intuitive guide, how did that influence the structure of this book?
It really did. It's funny. So did my just the way my mind works. Like I like being inspired when I write. I sit down and say, okay, what wants to come through me. So when I was writing, I really wanted to write a few different sections of way of exercises. So gratitude had to be first, because I love gratitude and it is the most important thing for switching your life and it can be done in a few minutes. So I had 9 exercises. My first 9 exercises, actually 10, are on gratitude. Chapter 2 is really about water, really embracing the power of water. And that has played such an important impact on my life. One of the other things is Dr. Emoto's work on water, where he studied water crystals, and water that had kind, loving words spoke to it created this beautiful crystals. And water that had like negative words spoken to it created really not very pretty images. And that really reflects our body because our body is made of water. So it reflects the cells. So learning about that too, I knew it was really important to highlight water. And then the third chapter is using water to help feel empowered. And that is really a lot of what I've learned and helped my clients do the last 20 years, like really being in touch with our emotions, using affirmations, using daily intentions, using mantras, tapping into the amazing exercise of havening. I really wanted to give people other ways that maybe they could think about things and switch their mindset up in that last chapter of exercises. And then chapter 4 is really ways to adapt these exercises for the bathtub and for life. Sometimes people love taking baths. I know I love my baths too. I don't want this book to exclude those people. And I want these exercises to really be incorporated into every part of your life. You're stressed, you have a business meeting coming up. You know what? Go to the restroom, wash your hands and think about one of these exercises, take 3 minutes, in your car before going into the office and do one of these exercises. While water enhances these exercises, 90% of them can be done out of the water, but doing them in the shower every day really starts your day off well. Most people shower in the morning or at night or ends your day well. And it really just gets you in the habit of being like, hey, how am I doing? By the way, most of us don't even check in and see how we're doing, but oh, I'm feeling a little stressed. Maybe I'll use one of these exercises. So I've talked for a long time about the little moments of the day, little windows of time we have. We can even do these exercises where while we're washing dishes, we're feeling the water while we're changing laundry, moments where we're usually like complaining in our heads about, oh, another loaded dishes or another little laundry I have to do. Really? Like we're stressed out and thinking about the next thing we have to do. So, really, by incorporating it into the shower, it's really starting off the practice. And I really wanted my book to be outlined in a way where you're starting with gratitude, you're moving to the water, you're moving to how to apply this to your life, and then yeah, really taking this forward. Like, let me take this into every moment of my life. Let me take this into 5 different times during the day. I really wanted this to empower people to kind of take their own power back and regain control of their mind and learn how to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting like a lot of us are doing these days.
Well, water carries such an intelligence. I'm so glad you brought up Dr. Emoto. I think that that just highlights the healing powers and the intelligence that water carries, and to be able to incorporate this powerful practice in our day with things that we do every day, like showering. Because a lot of times people say, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to meditate. I don't have enough time to, do the yoga or whatever that thing is. But when we're in the shower, we definitely have time.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is it. I hear that as the number one thing. I don't have time to meditate. And people have this this image of, meditating the yogi on the mountain, cross-legged, oming for like hours on end. Like we don't have time for that. This is a busier time than ever. We all have things pulling us in a million different directions, but you can take those 3 minutes in the shower. I'm not even asking you to take your whole shower time, but this is time that you have where it's just like a, hey, I'm going to take this time for me and I deserve this time. It's also really a reclaiming of that like self-love and self-worth.
Well, Jenny, where can people connect with you, be part of your community, and learn more about your book?
Well, they can go to my website, Jenny Garufi, JennyGarufi.com. They could go to Amazon and order a copy. They could join me on Substack, Jenny Garufi, at Substack. And I love connecting with people. If you go to my website, there are 2 ebooks there that also invite in peace. I just really love helping people. I know that, again, as a recovering perfectionist, recovering people pleaser, it can be really challenging to get out of our own way, but when we start to, life really unfolds in magical ways.
Well, Jenny, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Thank you so much, Marianne. It's always such a joy to speak with you.
Well, Jenny, it's been such an honor to spend this time with you and to talk about your new book, The 3-Minute Shower Reset. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Mary Ann, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Mary Ann is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Mary Ann will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmaryann.com for more information.